Hey, shalom, shalom. All praises, honor, glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honor to the apostles, elder bishops, the great millstone. Peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. Shabbat Chanak coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Wadash. And what I have here is an article from mash.com. This is a article a brother sent on a thread, and I wanted to touch on it. It says here, as you can see, the title: cereals that are banned in other countries. Speaking about which this video is going to be about our food supply, and how it's defiled. I have that scripture, but just showing you, and I'll probably pull up another article, just showing you how there's certain foods that we're eating here in America that, the so-called FDA, USDA, the government allows the so-called American citizens to eat that are actually banned and deemed as toxic chemicals in other countries. And that just plays into even more why America really, I did a few lessons ago, or a lesson ago, and it was going into, the healthcare system and stuff like that. I believe it was going in with John D. Rockefeller, and how America really is the sickest nation on the earth, right? It has it's so-called the wealthiest nation, which really is the most debt-bearing nation, if you want to get technical. America doesn't really have real wealth; it has debt. But America is the sickest nation in the earth. All right, they have the most issues when the so-called medical system is supposedly supposed to be the most advanced, right? Life-saving therapies, if you will, the best quality treatment. If you were in a so-called third world country, you'll probably drop dead, right? But let's go through this. Maybe I'll pull up another article, but let's just go through this. And we all ate cereal when we were younger. You see what I'm saying? And we know a lot of these brands have heavy metals in it. They'll get recalled, 10, 15, 20 years later. I believe there was a thing with Skittles. Skittles, somebody sued Skittles because they had, some type of toxic chemical in it. And but they was selling that for years. So they get away with robbery, You had Johnson and Johnson. I did less Esau. It was years back, maybe 4 or 5 years back. Esau, he took it down, going into the Johnson and Johnson, and how they had the baby not the baby, it was the baby powder and stuff like that had toxic chemicals. You see what I'm saying? So we're actively being poisoned. There's been so many recalls. We can do a whole series on just substances that were once deemed healthy in America, 20, 30 years later, 15 years later, 10 years later, they're deemed toxic and harmful to the body, carcinogenic. America in the 20th century brought us some weird food trends. In addition to strange incarnations like aspic and the polarizing presence of spam, there was also an insatiable need to dye much of what we ate. We ate unnatural colors, especially foods marked towards kids, like breakfast cereals. To top it off, much of what Americans eat, including cereal, is pumped so full of preservatives that it could probably be consumed sometime in the next millennia, which the preservatives are there to store, to extend the shelf life, pretty much for the food not to break down. That's why it's important to read the back of your food and see what you're consuming. Okay, because if you're buying pretty much anything in a box that's not a whole food, it has preservatives in it. If you're buying, food that got 30 different ingredient lists, you're doing yourself a disservice, because those preservatives don't break down. Food is supposed to break down. Food has a very short shelf life when it comes to produce, and even when it comes to even dry goods. Okay. So the food that Esau creates and puts on a shelf, they're saying, shit, somebody could probably consume that 1,000 years later. Just like the McDonald's cheeseburger and French fries that didn't break down for 10 years, a year. Okay, come to find out, the proclivity in the U.S. to make children's cereal rainbows colored is not just frowned upon in other parts of the world, it's banned. You see that? Which you're gonna find out that America's the worst. You looking at America like it's the best place on the planet Earth. You never even been outside of America. All you know is what you've seen on TV. You never traveled the world and really experienced life. But here in America, the picture that they paint is that, it's all inclusive, fun. Okay, the food, the great food, cheap food, right? But in other countries, they ban that shit. These corporations can't sell it in those other countries because it's an active poison. Okay, it's an active poison that kills you. And those preservatives, countries like Norway, Japan, England, and the whole EU have completely outlawed the use of certain man-made chemicals in food because they've been linked to some serious health problems. But it's still not banned in the U.S. What does that say? Okay. For this reason, there are some cereals that are popular in America that will never see the inside of a store in certain nations. Cereals like Frosted Flakes and Rice Krispies are widely believed to be banned in other countries due to the preservatives they contain. But as it would happen, cereal heavyweights like Kellogg actually go as far as to remove the harmful preservatives from the food that they sell internationally, but continue to add them to the U.S. version. And why is that? Why are they adding it to the U.S. version, but they'll take those chemicals out, all right, to sell internationally? Because if that preservative or whatever it may be, that chemical that's in the food, they would the country like, nope, this can't, we can't sell this. So they take it out. But why did they leave it in here in America? Because they want to dumb you down. Okay, ultimately they want to get you sick, so you can feed right back into the pharmaceutical, which is all these chemicals they're all pharmaceuticals. They're all byproduct of petrochemicals. Okay. Here are and you as a grown ass man or woman, you shouldn't be eating no cereal. Okay, if you do, you gotta really get a real good quality one. Even then, really you gotta make your own. Which, of course, that's an inconvenience here in Babylon the Great, because everything is go go go. I gotta make money, gotta get here, gotta get there. Okay, but if you care for your health, you would invest in that and not just go get you a box of Frosted Flakes because it's quick and easy. See what I'm saying? You eating let me bring the scripture out. This is Ezekiel 4:13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I will drive them. And pretty much, who is the main entity that's consuming these products? I mean, you got Esau. He consumes these products as well. These nations that come over here, they'll consume it, but their main focus is, they'll eat their own food. You see what I'm saying? They have a certain taste, their country. They grew up eating that food. I mean, you have these heathens that come over here and they'll indulge and they be through. and Frosted Flakes and Honey Bunches of Oats and Twinkies and cupcakes. You don't really have stuff like that in these other countries. And the things that you do have, the sweets and the breads and the pastries and stuff like that, they're literally made with real ingredients. So you can eat them and not really get messed up like that. Now, of course, anything in excess is bad. But you can go over there to France and you can eat their pastries and you be cool. You won't gain weight. You won't be all depressed. You won't, get stomach issues. It'll give you somewhat energy. But you come over here, you eat it, all right, you get jacked up. So we were going to eat our food defiled, okay? Because really what we're eating is unclean food, which let's go up because the Lord told Ezekiel to pretty much eat dung, to symbolize Jake eating their food defiled, unclean. But I want to get this word defiled. I think it's the ma. I looked it up earlier. Yeah, the ma. It says unclean, impure, ethically and religiously. Right, ethically. I mean, damn, what are you doing? So why are you putting these chemicals in the food? Because there's a cynical reason behind it. And then he'll have these so-called, regulatory institutions that would actually say, no, hey, this won't really harm you. There's no evidence that it messes up your kidneys and it gives you high blood pressure and it clogs your arteries. There is no evidence with that. It's generally safe to eat. And then 10 years later, it comes out that this substance, actually causes, a heart disease, cancer. And then the company will make a maybe a lawsuit, maybe not. But they already made the bag. All right, and then they'll just take the chemical out, and people are so bugged out they'll continue to eat it religiously, right? Because according to our law, all right, a lot of these things are unlawful. You see what I'm saying? Chemicals. You got a number of bugs and rat feces that is allowed to be in the food, okay, because of these big processing plants were just filthy. So that's what people are eating, is defiled. And the main people that are eating these foods, these cereals and these pastries and these candies. Jake always in the candy aisle, eating Starbursts and look. We've all done it. I've been there. Okay, so I know firsthand. Okay, but coming into this truth, you gotta change the way you eat, and a lot of your issues, which you're still gonna catch hell in this place, but some of those things that bother you will start to go away when you start eating whole foods. Being a diet high in beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, fruits, vegetables, good quality fish, good quality meat. Okay, really staying away from dairy. Okay, eating fermented foods, drinking juices, making smoothies, drinking teas. Okay, which really all of the shit is still defiled, but we got to do what we got to do. We can only do what we can do. You see what I'm saying? I mean, we know the story. We don't have to go into that. Let's go back to the article. Okay, so this is, other countries aren't too sweet on honey bunches of oats. Compared to other standbys in the cereal aisle, honey bunches of oats from Post is relatively new addition, but has become one of the brand's top sellers. I remember eating this shit. Okay, Vernon J. Hensing was working for Post when he created this sweet and nutty cereal by combining a variety of existing cereals after spending 3 years in development stage. Hensing's creation was named Honey Bunches of Oats and hit the stores in '89. but you won't see it for sale in just any country. Honey Bunches of Oats wasn't just marketed to kids, but to the entire family. And judging by its ingredients, which include grains, granola, and almond variety, and you can actually make cereal. You know, there's so many videos. It just takes, you see what I'm saying? It just takes time, and it takes effort and trial and error. But you can actually make all these things that are way more healthy and cost effective, maybe and convenient if you do it right. Than buying all this bullshit. You shouldn't be eating this bullshit. That's why you're sick. Okay. It seemed like a healthy enough breakfast choice. That is until you took a look at the ingredients. Like many processed foods, the list of ingredients starts out with what you expect: corn, whole grain wheat, sugar, rolled oats in this case. But read on and you'll start to see items that are a little puzzling. And the corn is all messed up. I'm tempted to bring out, a brother sent another article on the corn. Give me a second. Let me just look this up on my phone real quick. That corn, most of that corn, you got to really, fall back from that corn, to be honest. Especially if it's not organic, non-GMO corn, because most of the corn is super GMO'd out. Even the wheat, most of the wheat. If you start cutting out wheat, do it for a month. Cut out wheat, cut out corn, cut out soybeans, cut out seed oils, cut out flour. All white flour in general. And processed sugar. You're doing good. You halfway there. Give me a second. Okay, this is we might play a little bit of this. Give me a second. Yeah, we might play a little bit of that. But let me continue. Sugar, rolled oats in this case. But read on and you'll start to see items that are a little puzzling. One such ingredient is BHT, short for butylated hydroxytocin. You see what I'm saying? I can't even pronounce this BS. Followed by the words added to preserve freshness. So it's like, oh yeah, hey, it's fresh, right? It looks benevolent, right? It seems harmless enough, but you live in a country where consuming this preservative BHT is highly restricted by law. The EU, United Kingdom, Norway, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and Japan have given a collective thumbs down to this carcinogen because eating it has been known to cause tumors in the body and hinder blood clotting. There you go. See? There you go. You have other countries that block these chemicals. There's literally no reason to put it in there other than to put you to death, to cause harm upon you. There's literally no other reason to do that, because you can literally make these things without these deadly chemicals. But we're dealing with the devil here, and there's a nefarious reason behind him doing all these things. This is all part of his grand scheme to take over the world. He has to weaken the human population. Okay, in America, it's really you people are guinea pigs. That's why you're so sick. That's why cancer. Wait, hold on. Cancer is the number one killer. What is the number one killer in America? It's cancer, then it's heart disease. Let's see. Let's see. Give me a second. I'm just clicking. I'm trying to get. Okay. The leading cause of death. This is from CNN.com. The leading cause of death remains the same for the year before. Heart disease is the number one killer, followed by cancer. Okay, so it's heart disease and cancer. 1, 2. Okay, according to the U.S. Center of Disease Control and Prevention. Prevention, the what is it, the CDCP, or that's the acronym, I'm not sure. And infant mortality decreased by 2.3. What the fuck does that got to do with anything? That has nothing to do with anything. Okay, so the number one killer is heart disease, and number 2 is cancer. Okay, and people don't eat vegetables; they eat shit like this. Okay, which this shit literally has a known carcinogen, literally known. It's banned. It's literally banned in other. So you over here just picking up shit, going in the aisle of the store, just buying whatever, not even understanding what you're putting in your body, right? Having no clue, but because you're addicted to the taste. You see what I'm saying? You're killing yourself, and you wonder why you're on high blood pressure medicine. You wonder why you're on cholesterol medicine. You wonder why you got anxiety. You wonder why you got depression. You wonder why your kidneys is backed up. Okay, you got diabetes. You wonder why you got brain fog. Okay, you wonder why you got digestive issues, which is all, it's all because we're, the curses, right? And our food being defiled, that's part of the curses. Okay, but ultimately coming into this truth, we got to eat better. Okay, and I'm always speaking about, hey, you got to eat better. Like I said, a diet high in legumes, beans, lentils, nuts, seeds, fruits, vegetables, okay, and some whole grains, some grains. You see what I'm saying? Staying away from white sugar, white flour. Really got to stay away from wheat. If you go wheatless, go wheatless for a minute, 30, 60, 90 days. You'll see a change, especially in your weight as well. You got to do some, some research and look at other alternatives, which there are. You got to take time out of the day. You see what I'm saying? You need to have a juicer. You need to be juicing. You need to be taking ginger shots. You need to be eating eating your garlic, drinking your water, limit. You know what I mean? This is for there are more preservatives in honey-made s'mores. And this is not even scratching the surface how defiled our food is. We're starting to find out that everything is messed up. Okay, even the meats, even the healthy stuff, even the vegetables, they're sprayed with all type of chemicals, the soil. Okay, the way that they treat the animals, the things that they inject the animals with, even the so-called organic shit, it's all defiled, it's all filthy. Okay, but that's all prophecy. All right, let me continue. Post continues to make, and who owns these, General Mills, Post, and these Kellogg, who owns these heavyweight food distributing or food companies, food process, who owns this shit? Esau. Okay, you go back, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. Okay, Esau Edom, the Rothschilds, the small hats that own these multi-billion-dollar industries, and they're actively poisoning your ass. Okay, really to get to the Israelites, but they'll poison everybody. They don't give a shit. They'll poison their own. Okay, but they don't eat no shit like this. Post continues to make cereals that will never see the inside of many international grocery stores due to the nation's stance against BHT in food. Honey-made s'mores cereal is a decadent flavor punch inspired by the timeless campfire treat. Was introduced in 2017. Yes, it was modeled after actual s'mores, but it took more like a mix of golden grams and Cocoa Puffs with kernels of marshmallows thrown in it. The cereal was initially sold as a Walmart exclusive, which was fitting because discount superstores and chemical-laden processed foods are, for the better or worse, quintessential American. Yeah, Walmart, certain time, it just depends, uh, you know, Walmart's not really a good place to grocery shop, but hey, sometimes you might have to go there. You see what I'm saying? Depending on your situation, you know what I mean? Send up prayers, but you definitely shouldn't be eating this shit, right? Because Walmart, it's filled with nothing but GMO. That's the GMO superstore. But it is what it is. Check out a box of Honey Made S'mores, and you'll see BHT among the ingredients. Is BHT really, really bad? Studies show that BHT is a sister component, BHA, okay, which they make the plastic out of. What is this? Which is a petrochemical. Is a corrosive additive, that harms the liver, kidneys, and lungs over time and can irritate the skin. Look at that. So here you got this shit inside your body. It's literally eroding, or it's corrosive to your liver, corrosive to your kidney, corrosive to your whole body in general, your lungs. So now you're breaking down. Now the body is creating tumors to basically patch you up, which is the cancer. Now you're getting radiated. But Esau allow you to get radiated and still eat them cereals. In the 1990s, scientific study on BHP gained ground in Europe and other parts of the world, eventually leading many countries to prohibit its widespread use in common food items like potato chips, chewing gum, and breakfast cereal. So it's not just, I'm just using this as a platform. You see what I'm saying? Just the cereal. All right. As a teaching agent. But it goes for all the food that we're eating. Right? But we can do the best that we can. Whole foods. Seeing that Honey Made, and you need to be doing a parasite cleanse. At least 3 months. Seeing that Honey Made S'mores, this new addition, has reached the heritage status of other cereals like Rice Krispies and Frosted Flakes. Post does not modify the recipe in order for it to be sold on an international scale. To put it simply, countries that restrict BHT don't sell Honey Made S'mores. Look at blue Fruit Loops are out of the loop outside the U.S. Okay. Japan turns down Lucky Charms pot of gold. Cinnamon Toast Crunch European makeover. Right. So this is Kellogg or Post. They had to change up the formula to sell it in Europe. Cornflakes and its mascot are unwelcome abroad. So Kellogg's Cornflakes is banned, right? Cinnamon Toast Crunch is banned. Lucky Charms is banned. Fruit Loops are banned. Okay. Cookie Crisp vitamin C content isn't cool with Canada. Yeah, Canada don't allow it. Let's read this. Vitamin fortification in cereal seems like it might be a good thing, right? Not necessarily. And where are those vitamins coming from? Those vitamins, so-called minerals that are fortified, right? And put into the cereal, because if there were no vitamins and minerals in the cereal, they didn't fortify it, it literally would not even be a food. It wouldn't even be edible. Okay? There would be no nutritional value to it because it's super processed. And those so-called vitamins that they add to the cereal to make it sellable, right? They're all products of petrochemicals, artificial vitamins. Okay? And they actually do worse to your body than I'm eating healthy. Not necessarily. Tons of cereals are fortified with vitamins and minerals to help consumers meet the recommended daily values and avoid deficiencies. Some of the most common fortifications found in America cereals are iron, calcium, various B vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin D. However, fortified cereals are typically high in sugar and extremely processed. This is certainly the case with General Mills Cookie Crisp, but isn't the sugar content that causes the cereal to be banned in Canada. It is the vitamin C fortification. So the vitamin C is all messed up because it's not true vitamin C that's actually found, okay, in nature. And all that vitamin is really, I'm gonna say, is all bullshit. First and foremost, because Esau's still finding new things. Okay, vitamin C wasn't so-called discovered until the early 1900s, late 1800s, by Paul. His name was Paul Linus. He was the so-called founder, the scientist that discovered vitamin C. So there's all type of things that are in our food that the Most High created that Esau he don't have an understanding on, okay, and what the body actually really needs. Okay, your body just needs whole foods. It's not that complicated. You need to be eating a wide variety of fruits and vegetables, mainly lots of steamed, okay, baked vegetables. A fruit. You need to be drinking juice. It's really not. You know what I mean? Stay away from white rice. Really, brown rice it's okay, but you go millet. You see what I'm saying? Quinoa, couscous. Okay, there's other what they call ancient grains that are way better. Wild rice, which is not even a actual rice. It's a grass. Okay. Not eating meat every day. Sweet potatoes, yams. Okay, all these things actually contribute positively to your body. They don't have to be fortified. Which, like I said, it's all defiled, but nevertheless, we do the best that we can. Let me bring this out. 1 Corinthians. Right, 1 Corinthians 6:12. All things are lawful unto me. So it's certain these things that are actually lawful. They're not unlawful, right? It's not unlawful per se to eat a box of Captain Crunch. But all things are not expedient. But it's really not expedient for you to eat that BS because it's actively poisoning you. Okay? It's poisoning your mind. It's depositing heavy metals. Toxic, I'll just say toxic chemicals that are being deposited in your body, causing you all type of issues. All things are lawful for me, right? If you eat, you eat a you eating GMO corn. Yeah, it's not. You can eat it. It's food, but is it really food? Is it And I understand, with money and stuff like that, but there's ways around that. Pray the Lord, and it's a little bit more. When it comes to the diet, it's a little bit more, especially if you're sick and acidic. It's a little bit more work on your end, but you just got to do it. But I would not be brought under the power of any. You see what I'm saying? And there's a lot of our people that are addicted to, really, it's not even the food, it's the chemicals. They have to have a certain brand. They have to have that potato chip. You know what I mean? And they're all messed up. But then you look at their diet and you be like, man, you're eating nothing but food that's going to clog your arteries. You're eating nothing but food that's going to, cause your blood sugar to spike, your pancreas to pretty much break down, your gallbladder to start having attacks, your appendix starting to have attacks. You see what I'm saying? Causing you allergies, causing you anxiety, causing you pain. Well, inflammation, let's bring that out. Inflammation was one of the curses. Right? Deuteronomy 28 and I'll start at 20. And the Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexing, and rebuke in all that thou settest thy hand unto to do, until thou be destroyed. And are we not destroyed? And until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doing, whereby thou hast forsaken me. And this is all because we've forsaken the living power, Yah Bashmal Shai, that we're even in this predicament. Because food is just food, right? You would be like, oh, it's just food, why would somebody poison the food? That doesn't make any sense. But see, you're living in ignorance at this point. Okay, the truth is coming out. How these Edomites, they're viler than the earth, as it says in Job. Okay, they're perverse. They err. They're the actual adversary. They're still on the campaign to kill Jacob. That's what you're not realizing, you Israelites that are not in the know. Okay, us in the know, we very well understand. Oh, there's something called, let me get it, Nutricide. Oh, look at that. It's an actual book. Let's see. Look at that. Nutricide, the nutritional destruction of the black race. And that goes for pretty much all the Israelites. Okay, because all the Israelites suffer from this. But I didn't know there's an actual book on it. Let's see. Was not expecting the things I've been learning since I started reading this book. The first couple of pages brought tears to my eyes because all of my parents are gone. Died from high blood pressure, stroke, diabetes, cancer. Coming across this book at this time in my life is divine. I've been brought back to reality because of the great Dr. Lala Africa. May peace be upon him. Does not sugarcoat anything. He tells it as we need it. Straight up, every black man and woman need to read this informative book. So much on the African way is taught within, which we're not African. All melanated people need to read this. And you see how it's all pretty much 5 stars, but then there's somebody that gives a 1 star and they put it at the top because they don't want you to get this information. And I'm probably looking into the book, but that's the actual book. Let's get this word nutricide. Things. Let's go down here. I guess you can get this book. Just bear with me, it's all. Let me just read it from here. Nutricide. What is it? Intentionally bringing about or are causing the death of a body of knowledge and information concerning the health promoting and curative attributes of herbs, food, and food components. Intentionally bringing about or causing the death of large numbers of people through nutritional manipulation. See that? Same thing down here. The deliberate and systematic alteration of foods in order to cause physical and mental disease, genetic mutations, and or death. See that? Let me read that again. Let's zoom into that so you can see that. See that? Nutricide is the deliberate and systematic alteration of foods in order to cause physical and mental disease, genetic mutations. Oh yeah, they said I don't even have that genetic marker in my family, and I got high blood. Hey, look, man, that's bullshit. Okay, genetic mutation and or death. Now it says African people, which they do be testing a lot of that stuff on the Africans too. But really, Jake, African children are deprived of vital nutrients, which cause attention disorders, learning problems, behavioral disorders, and hyperactivity. It's typical to find a zinc deficient in boys and iron probably in girls. So it's actually created. Esau studied the body. He studied the body, and he sees, okay, what does the body actually need, okay, to be efficient, right? What does the body need to be efficient? And then what if I take this particular nutrients out of the diet? What is that? He'll test it on animals first, or they start having cognitive abilities, or they're more agitated. They're short tempered. They have, they develop kidney disease over time. Their blood pressure. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why which I heard this word a while, some years back, but it's pretty much a compound word. Which nutrition going into your food, and side. When you put the side at the end of a word, right? It means destruction. Right side, a use to make nouns meaning the killing of the person or thing indicated by the first component of the word. So in this case, nutrition, and side, the killing of a person through their food, through their nutrition. This is the reason why you have these chemicals in the food. And who is doing this? Okay, this is Esau, Edom. Okay, then will I slay my brother Jacob. He wants to destroy, so he can't, he can't, just outright just, be a racist and just gun us down in the street, which he would love to do that, but he's not doing it. He's doing it covertly. Mind you, the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. He's still in the spirit of killing Jacob, but he's doing it. He's doing it through the things that you are willingly putting inside your body, because of the ignorance of what this man is doing. You don't know. You look at him as, as a god. He gives you technology, he gives you this, he gives you that, but the whole time he's destroying and trying to kill, exterminate a whole nation, or at this point, a lot of people through the foods. But see, these other nations, they ain't having it. They not allow. I mean, they through too, but they're not allowing the amount of filth. Which this just goes to show you that this is Babylon. Right? Verse 22 in Deuteronomy 28, the Lord shall smite thee with consumption, and with fever, and with inflammation, and with extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. And the heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. You see that? And the Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven it shall come down upon thee until thou be destroyed. And this is throughout multiple captivities. These curses took hold of us and did not allow us to prosper. These were all the curses of the Heavenly Father, and they're still being played out to this very day. And this is this is part of it. Okay, Count Coca-Cola and its consumption and the companion cereals are strictly seasonal for Canadians. They don't allow that shit. Post-shredded wheat proves looks can be deceiving. See? I mean, you can go, look, Applejack, goddamn, Captain Crunch. You see what I'm saying? Let's go. I want to hit this. Oh shit, slut. I want to hit this article. Now this is fair use, okay? Fair use, which he's a pretty popular YouTuber, okay?
Everything is corn. French fries, potato chips, taco meat, soda, ketchup, mustard, yogurt, soup, cookies, mayonnaise, milk, beer, wine, bubblegum, ice cream, pickles, baby food. Even water bottles are made using corn. Virtually everything we put in our mouths is made with corn in some way, shape, or form. Even the meat you eat is made from animals that are fed corn, with a whopping 95% of the grain fed to livestock in America being corn. Corn is also in candles, crayons, cleaners, fireworks, paint, plastic, glue, insulation, antibiotics, aspirin, makeup, battery, explosives, and most importantly, ethanol, which is found in almost all the gasoline in America. That's right, even our cars run on corn.
It's not just what we eat, it's in what we buy and how we fuel up.
Which corn is a high level crop, but it's been turned into evil, okay, through Esau Edom.
Just imagine what would happen if there was a corn shortage. Imagine what would happen if we couldn't grow it anymore. This one simple kernel is the difference between the modern world and us being blown back into the Stone Ages.
You call it corn. We called it maize. We knew all about the goodness of maize, corn, before America was America.
You can't escape corn. Our modern society is completely dependent on corn. And all of this corn is secretly making us sick, fat. It's destroying the environments while systematically robbing us of our money. But Big Corn doesn't want you to know any of this. Why? Because money. They don't want you to know that the corn industry is worth $86 billion or $10 billion more than the tobacco industry. They don't want you to know that high fructose corn syrup is secretly making you fat, even though there's literally no reason to be using high fructose corn syrup over natural sugar. And they don't want you to know that corn is the most subsidized crop in America, which is a nice way of saying money is coming out of your pocket in the form of taxes and straight into the pockets of Big Corn. Big Corn has worked tirelessly over the last few decades to keep all of this under wraps, to keep the public secretly hooked on corn. And to understand just how calculating, just how cunning and terrifying Big Corn really is, we have to go all the way back to the beginning. Stay dangerous, subscribe for more.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm not, that's just a little introduction. You know what I mean? You can go into that more on your time. All right, but look, the evil history of corn. Yeah, when you go into all these products, all these foods, you'll see that there's evil behind it. All right, because Esau Edom is in control of it. Let me see something. Give me a second. Let's do this. Let me see if I can remember. Is it 38, 39? Let's try 38 real quick. Maybe 39. Oh, how does it go? Okay, what's 39? Yep. This is Sirach 39 and 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinner they are turned into evil. Okay? So pretty much, the Most High created all these things to be good, but they become evil. Okay, to the sinner, and then you got the actual sinner, Esau. Right, which he's now a sinner because he took on the book and claimed to be of the Bible. He's actually claiming to be God. Right, God looks like him. He's turned all these things against you. He's turned your water against you. The water that comes into your tap is literally defiled. It literally has all type of chemicals in it. Outside of the fluoride, outside of that. Okay, it got heavy metals in it. It got prescription drugs in it. Okay, it got all type of waste. It's filthy. The iron, the salt. He iodizes the salt. Okay. You got the iron in your blood. He'll take out. He'll make sure. He'll destroy certain food so you won't. Especially as an Israelite man, you won't be in the the top. Tip top shape, if you will. Mind, body, and soul won't be aligned right. They're trying to cut you off from. Let me bring this out. Let's do this. Psalms 83. Psalms 83:1. Keep not thou silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. And this is part of it. By attacking us through our food. You got something called food deserts. Okay? Where all you can buy is Doritos and Pepsi. You still, look, if you still drinking soda, man, hey, I don't want to hear nothing. Okay? It's literally there to kill you. All right, so you need to stop it. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And this is pretty much what it's to do. It's to cut us all off. Because see, these other nations, they're saying, nah, Japan, we ain't letting this shit into our country to kill our people. Okay, but in America, anything goes. And it's especially targeted to the Israelites, so-called blacks, man, Native Americans. The food is super cheap to buy, You can get it on your WIC card or your EBT food stamps. You see what I'm saying? And it'll come a whole bunch of cereal and and you could feed the kids real quick. It's convenient. Get them ready for school. Some it's sweet. They like it. Mama, I want that cereal. Mom, I want cereal. You give them that fucked up milk. Okay, and you wonder why he all bouncing off the walls and can't do his, can't remember his ABCs. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Yeah, and these nations, they come over too and they help Esau. Okay, they lick the wounds. Okay, they lick Lazarus' wounds. Lazarus was speaking about allegory for the Israelites. Okay, and they help because they'll sell certain products in your area that they don't eat that shit. Okay, all these damn Arabs, they got these corner stores selling beer and liquor, and they don't even drink. It's forbidden for them to drink. You see what I'm saying? But they'll sell it to you. They'll sell hot dogs. So you already know they ain't a people of the Most High. They over here to get money. And it's all from the top down. It's all a conspiracy against the Israelites. Well, bro, you talking about their food, man. That's good, man. I ain't worried about that, man. You tripping. That's a conspiracy. Well, you are already trapped, man. There's nothing. The Lord don't even want you. Okay. The tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites. Oh, there you go. The Ishmaelites. Edom's number one. Moab. And the Hagarenes, so you got the Japanese, the Chinese, Gamal and Ammon and Amalek. Amalek is at the top. He's the first of the nations. He's the one who actually owns all these corporations, and he's the one who owns these petrochemicals, these byproducts of natural gas and petroleum, and then he uses that to put on your food, to preserve it, to make this, to make that. Or these pharmaceutical companies that create GMOs, and then sell that shit to you. You got a tomato that been in the refrigerator 3 months, still look new. It looked newer than when you bought it. You cut that bitch open, no seeds in it. It's still juicy. See what I'm saying? And then you cutting it up. You put it on you made a homemade burger. You went and got you some 80-20 ground beef. It was on sale. Got you some pickles, some lettuce, some ketchup. I mean, that's pretty much it. You keep reading down. Let's actually finish off on this. Revelation 11:18. Because the Lord's going to destroy these people. Also tells you in Isaiah 14, he who ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. Okay? And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they shall be judged. So all these nations are going to be judged. They're the dead. Okay? As well as Jacob is in that dead state as well, that are not coming back to the truth. And that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. See that? All right, I'm going to close it out. Till next time, shalom to the elect.